Good afternoon, Earth. All right, it's that time for the executive summary. It's the 6th of November 2014. John Seville from Acorn Wealth here, and we have an exciting day for you. We have broken open range for November. We were talked about this in yesterday's summary. We broke higher today and closed higher today, which is the key thing we're looking for. So the S&P should likely remain bullish until options expiration Friday. If we look at the trend line resistance, we're looking for a possibly 250 to 260 target on the S&P, which offers room for movement. So, despite that, stocks are moving in both directions. We took a short last night, today on Sprouts Farmers Market. I bought some $30 puts on SFM. They disappointed during earnings. That's down 5% after market. So, again, one of our options during earnings picks. And also there's been some big surprises to the upside. Of course, WFM, its competitor, doing extremely well, popping 10% after positive reviews there. So beautiful technical markets to be trading. So I decided today to present 3 stocks for both long and shorts that you could consider as a watch list. So let's firstly take a look on the short side, JKS. JKS, Jinko Solar. Now, a lot of the solar companies having some pretty disappointing moves. Of course, with the oil so low, these guys are suffering. Jinko Solar has had a haphazard kind of move. Typically, what we see when markets are channeling is that they will revert to the previous direction. So if we actually have a look here, we've got a downward movement followed by a consolidation, which is typically followed by a further downward movement. So with that being said, I'm expecting a break of this 2250 mark and a fall down to at least that $20 line, offering a 10% potential short offering. Now, next is SWIR, and this is a potential reversal play for those contrarian traders out there. Obviously, Sierra Wireless had a huge move today on 4.85 million shares over yesterday's 979. So that was obviously an attractive move for those holding long positions. We're looking at it actually now, though, as a potential shorting play or reversal play if it respects that overhead resistance. So currently, there's still a 7% short float on SWIR. And as reported by shortsqueeze.com. So this has that kind of potential from a $34 down to $31.50 type of move, which would be 7-8% for those liking those contrarian reversal plays following into those good earnings. BRKR is the last one. Now these guys are looks like they appears to be a declining Head and Shoulders. So if we actually have a look at this, they reported earnings today. They were in line with expectations, excuse me, they were a miss on expectations. So we could expect a potential drop on these guys tomorrow. And so if you have a look at as a Head and Shoulders play, the best case scenario for a shorter would be that it could actually, if the Head and Shoulders were to play out, could offer a target all the way down there at 1450. But there's certainly some interesting levels here. If you look at that neckline where these two peaks and this peak and this peak and this peak all kind of challenge with, that could offer a drop here from 2050 down to 1950, but possibly all the way down to 1850 are the 2 targets I'd be looking at potentially as things to consider. Beyond that, if it continued to drop, there's obviously, you can see where that line extends down to. Those are the shorts. Now on the long side, we've got EVC. Now EVC beat on revenues. They reported aftermarket today. They don't have aftermarket trading, so we don't know how the market's taken it yet. But if you look at other stocks that reported in after hours, that one was an example today. It reported good earnings. It was up 15.77% today. So EVC, something that we're looking at tomorrow as a possible long. A pop up to even 550, or excuse me, 560. Is kind of that first target, would fill that gap, but possibly even further. At 514, that offers a nice 6-7% move if it got to there, and the money flow has been moving strongly into this. Even though price was declining, money flow was rising, and that's the type of thing we really want to see. So EVC on the list. AANs, this has had insider buying as early as 2 days ago, and has had insider buying prior to that as well. AANs is a very volatile stock, which of course is exactly what you want to see when trading technically, and this is coming for some very heavy support lines that's previously seen significant rallies up from these levels. So zooming in on this, we've got a 9-day moving average which seems to be supporting it. So anything around kind of this current level of pricing around that 25.50, 25 to 25.70 should be some reasonably good areas that I'm looking for a potential buy on, and this would be a momentum play that I think could carry up towards that 27.50 zone, which again would be about a possible 10% move or more, but I'd be looking at that as protecting it with raising my stops as that position rallies. I haven't taken a position yet in this, but something I'm considering for tomorrow is AANs. And finally, ZQK. Now, the apparel stores have been beaten up badly. Quicksilver, which is something we know about in Australia because they have their surfing equipment, you can see their money flow has also done extremely well over the course of this flat or declining period. And so ZQK has a just broken through its 50-day moving average. Its 9 and 20-day moving and 50-day moving average are now all behind it, and so this could be a nice little pop up to fill the gap towards this area here at $2.63. So from $2, that's almost a 30% potential rally if it got to that level, and that's the third long that we're looking at, and hopefully that will help you for your research purposes going into tomorrow's markets. This is the executive summary. If you're not already a member, make sure you do go to acornwealthcorp.com and fill out the contact us form requesting a trial, and we'd be more than happy to put you onto our daily updates where you get these videos frequently throughout the week. Take care, have a great day, and happy trading.